morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Nancy Ennis, and I'd like to welcome all of you to Unity of Charlotte this morning. Today is a surge service. The surge service is dedicated to second wave spirituality, that new spirituality that's coming into planet Earth, and it's coming like a surge, and it's calling us all to be love in action. So if this is your first time today, this will be a little bit different than we usually do. And if you've been here before, you'll really enjoy it. So we'll come together in the surge. So if your first time today, and like to share that with us, if you just raise your hand, who's here for the first time? Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you are here. Oh, hey. Tom telling me he's been here before. So we have a few visitors today also, less than that are animal type visitors, and they'll be kind of letting us know their presence today. So if you'd like to, if this is your first time, just stand up and tell us what your name is. We can start to get acquainted a little bit, and I'll leave that up to you if you'd like to.
My name is Brian. I'm here from Ohio. Well, I just moved here from Ohio not too long ago. I used to go to Unity up there.
Wonderful. Yay, welcome. I think he's going to have a message before this is over.
I'm Laura, and I'm from Charleston, and I'm here moving to Charlotte, so I'm from Unity.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I'm Barry. I'm Norwegian. She's moving to Charlotte.
Glad you're here.
I'm Lori, lived here for 30 years, first time coming to this wonderful place.
Okay, thank you, thank you. But we hope you will come back and join with our spiritual community. So this morning, as we kind of come together in this surge service and we kind of hear that call that we are to be love in action, it also goes with Unity of Charlotte's mission statement. We use that as our mission, that call to be love in action. So let's start with our mission statement and let's say that together. We apply life-enhancing universal principles leading to co-creative, mature, spiritual adults who accept responsibility for the destiny of humanity, entrancing the love of power to the power of love. So we hear that mission statement and we hear it as a call for us here to be love in action also. So as we join together today, I'd like to also welcome all the people who are joining us who aren't here in the room. Those of you who are seeing us on TV, those of you who are watching us on YouTube or on Facebook, we're glad that you have joined us in that way. I always invite you to come and be with us in person. We're at 401 East Arrowwood Road, and we're here every Sunday for our Sunday service at 10:30, and we're here all week long with wonderful things that happen here.
Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God. to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God, of God, my God, of God, my God. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. No, let me know that love is all around. Oh, let my steps reveal a path of peace. Let my steps reveal a path of peace. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. Let me learn from all the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowed. Let me share the good that's overflowed. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me care for those around the world. Let me care for those around the world. Oh, let me talk each day a little time. Let me talk each day a little time. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
So when we talk about love in action, we sometimes call it sacred activism, because we're acting from our heart and we're acting from love and we're doing the work in the world that we're called to do. So these are our candles that represent our sacred activism. And we're going to light those together this morning. The first candle, I will have to come down on the floor. The first candle we'll light for our love of God. And we'll say it in our first person. I light this candle for my love of God. I light this candle for my love of God. And this candle we will light for our love of justice. We'll say that together. I light this candle for my love of justice. And the candle in the middle represents our love in action. So it'll be for my love in action. I light this candle for my love in action. So as we see the candles, it can remind us of our time together today. And we have today, as part of our sacred activism, a responsive reading. It's in your program on the yellow sheet, and I did that so you could take it home if you wanted to, or read it that way, but it's also going to come up on the screen. And Michael Thomas will read us in our responsive prayer today.
Blessings to all who come together to give gratitude, to praise, to remember, and to share a vision of solidarity and justice. We give thanks, O Holy One, for the gift of community. For we are meant to coexist in relationship with each other. Our heart-to-heart relationships are fertile ground for our lives and for the evolution of humanity. Together, we can engender so much more than we can apart. The surge of power we create together can be a healing force for peace in the world. By sharing our hopes and dreams with each other, we can discover new paths to take. Our vision for peace and justice can become more focused, and we can accelerate our movement along this path. Both our gifts and our lacks are mirrored to us within the vessels of our relationships. This reflection helps us to grow into our fullness and to bring our shadows to light. In our relationships, we honor and support the authentic, particularly of the nature of the other. We understand authenticity as sacred and advocate for one another across all types of diversity. Through our dark times, times of vulnerability, and times of discouragement, we rely on the support of each other. Our mutual support is vital to keep us moving forward, to keep building towards the higher ideals of serving our world. We depend on each other to continually evoke celebrations of this epic journey of life, to offer thanks and praise together in community. May we allow our hearts to quicken with gladness and gratitude for our relationships, our lives, and the opportunity to work together towards a vision of solidarity, peace, and loving justice. Amen. And now if everybody will just relax in your seats, plant your feet firmly on the floor, and we will enter into a time of meditation. Take a nice deep breath in and release it. And another deep breath and release that. And a third deep breath. And as you release that breath, tension leaves your body and you enter into a time of meditation. And during this time of meditation, focus your thoughts on love, peace, and relationships. And as the music flows around and over you, slowly come back to this time and this place with a renewed feeling of love and peace. Namaste. And now, Lana Moorhead, our chaplain for today, will present the daily word.
Good morning. Today's daily word is grace. I live in the grace of God. Grace may appear in my life as forgiveness, a way through a seemingly insurmountable challenge, other people, or a divinely inspired idea. Grace is evidence of the love of God that, while unearned, is still freely given. It often comes to me in ways totally unexpected, and at the time it is most needed. I am surrounded and enfolded in God's love. One of the most beautiful ways that God's love reveals to me is through grace. While I cannot do anything to earn that grace, I can hold to the faith that what God wants for me is always in my best interest. Whatever my circumstances seem to be, I look for the seed of blessing contained within. I find a confirmation of God's love in ways that sometimes seem miraculous. But each of us was given grace according to the measure of Christ's gift. Ephesians 4:7. My name's Lana Moorhead. I am your chaplain today, and I will be in the prayer room after service. Thank you.
We have with us Janet and Jeff Nagong. I think I said that wrong. Ganong. And they are the owners of Great Harvest Bread Company. And they are here to share with us their love and action that has led to our celebration of Animal Needs Day. So Jeff and Janet, stand up and we can give you a warm welcome. And we also have with us Melissa Nicely, and she is here to represent CMPD's Animal Care and Control. And she will share her activism with us and tell us how we can participate in the love and action that they are having. So welcome, Melissa. And Janet is going to lead off our sharing. No, Jeff is going to lead off our sharing. Whoever it is wonderful. Glad to have you back, Jeff.
Thank you, Nancy. First, before I start, I want to know, how'd you train Gina to do that?
She's got me trained.
Well, that was sort of obvious from the start. Good morning. I hope you'll pardon me. I pulled some notes out. It's been a long week, so I'm not used to speaking from notes, but I do speak from the heart. I wanted to start by saying, first off, thank you so much for inviting us once again to come and share with you today. Mark Twain once said, "The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog." Now, all right, settle down. I know that sounds a bit cynical, but there's a reason for me saying that to you. I want to preface this. The first reason is that we're in a political season right now, and I use that term "season" advisedly because we're in a place of worship. In this political season, there's been a lot of division and rancor. There's been a lot of us and them about differences, why people are different from us, and why we should not like people. Now, first off, let me state real clearly, I don't care what side of the political debate you're on. It doesn't matter to me what candidate or candidates you want to support or whether you're left or right. It's irrelevant because there's enough rancor and hatred on both sides, and it doesn't really apply, but it does mean something in our world. And but in my opinion, many times, the reason that a person creates these divisions, the reason that a person wants to create an us and them is because they themselves are insecure. They're feeling insecure about their differences. They're not happy with their differences or their beliefs. They're a little uncomfortable with the way they are. And this creates a real problem. Examples, one of the most homophobic persons I ever met was a man who he himself was a closeted homosexual, and he was lashing out at others in his frustration. Sometimes a person of faith is so adamant about their beliefs that they're unable to accept other people's faiths, and they reject those, claiming that their faith is the one and only true faith. But if they were more secure in their own beliefs, perhaps they wouldn't have this sort of divisive nature. Omar Mateen, the shooter in Orlando that killed those 50 people, was at first said to be anti-gay, and it turned out the fact that he was a regular at that club. Sometimes a person who's a racist, you find out that somewhere in their past, in their ancestry, they have some of that race that they reject themselves. Or the anti-immigrant, in fact, had grandparents from the old country, but in fact now they want to pull up the drawbridge. All of these things, I think, have a tendency to create this intolerance. Sometimes we can't tolerate in others the very things that we find in ourselves, which causes us to create a situation where there's bigotry and fear and hatred and exclusion. And this is sad because when we lose our tolerance for diversity, when we lose our tolerance for acceptance, we lose one of the greatest things that makes us Americans, one of the great things about America itself. And so I'm telling you that so I can tell you this. I want to tell you something that I saw yesterday. We had a kickoff party for Animal Needs Day. It was at the wonderful, let me put in a plug here, Nancy, if you don't mind. Birdsong Brewing Company was one of our sponsors, and they helped us do a kickoff party at their tap room on North Davidson Street. So Jen and I walked into the tap room, and I was greeted at the door enthusiastically and very happily by a terrific dog. Now, this dog was different, okay? This dog was very different. First off, let me tell you how first off, she's a pit bull, or pit bull breed mix. And people react negatively to pit bulls. There's this idea that they're bad dogs, a theory I do not subscribe to. But the fact is, as a bad dog, or as a dog people react negatively to, their environment is negative, so pit bulls have a tendency to react negatively. Think about the last time you were in a situation where you were in a room where people were looking at you or were feeling negative toward you. You react negatively. Your tendency is to reject that and to feel nervous and feel about your difference, somehow different from the people around you. Second thing was, she had been abandoned by her human companions. This is a domestic dog that had been raised by somebody and then just abandoned. So left by the very humans that she trusted. How many times have we heard about a human whose bad behavior was excused by the fact that they were an orphan or they had been abandoned, and so we sort of rationalize their behavior and do that. So she had every reason to be fearful of humans and not trusting. Third difference was, while she was abandoned, she'd been struck by a car, and she'd been hurt terribly. The car never stopped to see whether she was okay. So here clearly is another reason for a dog who's abandoned, different, and been hurt. But the fourth and worst thing was that her injuries were so bad that they had to amputate her leg, her front leg. So now all of her differences were even more pronounced. She's now a three-legged dog in a four-legged dog world. And that could make anybody feel bitter or angry or rejecting. But here was this wonderful dog with this great spirit, and this dog, and certainly the dog should never have trusted humans, shouldn't have come anywhere near trusting humans. I know that a lot of people that have had less things than that have become bitter and divisive and said, well, people are no damn good or whatever. But this dog, whose name, by the way, is Summer, isn't that a great name for a dog? Summer came running over, wanted to play with me. She was playing with the other dogs. She wanted to play with me, a human, just like the humans that had abandoned her, just like the ones that hit her, just like the ones that took her leg. But she didn't see herself as different. She knew what she was. She was okay with her difference. And she was okay, and the other dogs were fine with her too, because she didn't curl in the corner and say, oh, I can't play, I only got 3 legs. And when I watched her, when I watched her playing with the people and the kids that came in and the other dogs, it was fascinating to me because I was reminded yet again that there are so many lessons we can learn from our animal companions. So many great things that we can learn. Summer was different, but she was okay with that difference. And because she was okay with it, the dogs and the people around her were okay with it too. I didn't see a lot of pity for her. I didn't see people saying, oh, no, lay down, don't jump around like that. She was bouncing all over the place. She was having a great time. And these lessons of this dog, not lashing out and being mean or hating, certainly with reason, is something that we want all Charlotteans to be able to have that opportunity to learn those lessons. We can learn from our animal companions, especially the children that are among us, the opportunity to see acceptance and love and hope. We want human companions to have that opportunity to learn those lessons, and we need a more compassionate society to do that. Janet and I support animal welfare issues, not because we want to be kind to the animals, although that certainly is a good enough reason by itself. We support them because our compassionate action toward animals makes us more humane. And that's sort of an ironic word, isn't it? Humane comes from the Old English word and was first found in the English language in 1528, and it comes from the word human, of course. But humane, the definition of humane, is characterized by tenderness, compassion, and sympathy toward people and animals, especially for those suffering or distressed. And the irony here is that it seems to me that we need to be reminded of what the word humane really means by dogs like Summer, the dog who had every reason to be filled with hate, the dog that had every reason to reject humans, but in fact clearly did not. We want to thank you again for participating in Animal Needs Day. You guys have been wonderful friends to us, and we want to thank you so much for that. And please help us create a society that is more humane to the very creatures who can teach us what it means to be human. Thank you very much.
I can't compete with Gina. Oh, and Nancy, you were right. Why didn't I go first? I go after Jeff, and how can you follow that? Oh, my goodness. Well, I just want to talk a little bit. I want to narrow a little bit and talk about you. Jeff says to me sometimes, because, we don't often see ourselves the way other people see us. So Jeff will say to me, let me tell you something about you that you don't know. So that's what I'm going to do. I have a feeling you guys know everything that I'm going to say. I mean, it was in the songs, it's in the responsive prayer. But you guys are so unique. And we have had such joy and pleasure working with you over the last few years. Jeff talked about the political environment. Such an exclusionary environment these days, and you guys are so inclusive. And I'm talking to you as an outsider, although that's kind of a misnomer, because the second we first walked in the door, we felt like insiders. You are so welcoming, so gracious, and we appreciate that so much. The environment out there invokes fear, and you guys bring comfort and authenticity, as we heard this morning. There's a calming that goes on here, which is unlike any other place we've been. People out there into accumulating things, stuff. The person with the most toys wins. Our kids in the bakery, they have to get the latest iPhone, and we're like, really? You guys get that the best things in life aren't things. Truly. You have, the people out, a lot of folks out there have the approach of, okay, I may consider doing this, but what's in it for me? Not you guys. You're like, what can we do for you? We started our relationship with you when we first met a man named George Bostic. May he rest in peace. An amazing man. He's the reason we're here today. He contacted us almost 3 years ago, or maybe the beginning of 2014, and said, we want to know what we can do for you to help you with Animal Needs Day. Now, we thought that was a wonderful gesture, but also in our suspicious nature, as people tend to be, we're like, this guy's a nutbag. And what is his hidden agenda? There has to be a hidden agenda. People don't just come out and ask to do things for other people. But he was as genuine as the day is long, and that's the way we find you folks as well. And we are so grateful he came to us that day, and so thankful that we have had this 3-year-long relationship with you for Animal Needs Day. A lot of people out there keep moving from place to place to place because they're looking for happiness outside themselves. You guys get that happiness starts here. And when happiness is here, it's contagious. And people love to be around you. I mean, you don't want to be around someone who's a curmudgeon. You love being around people who are happy, who have a good attitude. That's the way you guys are. I mean, you guys are a microcosm of the way the world should be. Some people live in the past. I'll give you an example of myself. I'm a survivor of childhood trauma, and for a long time, I either lived in the past or in the future. I dwelled on what had happened and why did this happen and why couldn't it be different, and I kept doing things to try to recreate my situation and have it turn out differently. You can't do that. And I was also, it really did a number on my self-esteem. And I was living in the future in the sense that I wasn't letting my life start until I fixed myself. And so what I wasn't getting is that life is about the journey. It's not trying to reach a particular goal. It's what happens as you're moving toward it. If you're not enjoying, embracing the journey, then you don't see. This morning there were hummingbirds feeding on our feeder in the backyard, and a neighborhood hawk, this huge hawk, came in and cooled his feet in our bird bath. And we have robins who bathe in the bird bath, and I just laugh every time. They're just so funny. They're just so cute. You don't smell the flowers, and you guys get all that. And it is a privilege to work with you, and we thank you for being with us on our journey. And Melissa has been with us all 10 years that we've done Animal Needs Day, and she has become a very good friend. If you embrace the journey, like what brought us all together at this very moment in this very place? Well, I tend to think it's partly divinely inspired, but also it's because of the experiences we've been through in our lives and the choices of how we've decided to handle those experiences. That brings us to where we are at any given moment. And so I think it's partly meant to be that we met you folks. I think God has a plan. And Jeff and I have been on amazing journeys by ourselves and a magnificent journey together. And our journey's getting ready to take a little turn. We actually have sold Great Harvest. And we have met someone who is going to take Great Harvest into the future. We wouldn't sell this bakery to just anybody. And this has to be divinely inspired, because we found a woman. Her name is Nuri Matamani, who's here today. I'm going to introduce you to her. She walked in the bakery, and the first day we met her, she said, my goal in owning a business, in finding the business that's right for me, is that I want to make a positive impact on the community. She's God sent. That's all I can say. As we've gotten to know her, I feel like we're soulmates, kind of. We are so aligned. She's amazing. And she wants to continue a lot of what we've started. And of course it will be her choice of what she wants to do. But I will tell you, I can sum Nuri up in one little 3-word sentence. She gets it.
I'm just going to cue you. I'll just say next slide whenever I need the next slide. I'm going to do things a little differently. Normally I get up here and I talk about, I have, bar charts up there and everything. And when I was looking at the PowerPoint, that I've done in the past, I was like, well, it's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of, boring charts up there. And so I thought, well, I'll use one chart, but then I'm just going to tell a few stories. So, and please let me know when my time's up, because I like to talk. I love to talk about my job. So I thought first I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about me. Animal Care and Control, you see up there, that's our shelter. We're out on Byram Drive over by the airport. You can get to us really easy now off of 485 and West Boulevard, so that's nice. We've got a lot of drive-by traffic now, which helps us get the word out about our adoption programs and such. And next slide, please. That's me. I'm Melissa. I'm the public information officer, and so that means that my jobs are basically to talk with the media when they need me, and I talk with the media when I need them, just like yesterday. I have a great relationship with the local media, and they support our causes greatly. And I also do a lot of our marketing promotions and things like that. I do a lot of public speaking, obviously. And I have to stop and say that this is the one I look forward to. Every year. Jeff and Janet have said it. I don't have to repeat everything that they've said because they said it so eloquently. But this is one of my favorite places to actually speak to every year, and I really, truly look forward to it. Next slide, please. I wanted to introduce you to my kids, because this is truly why I'm here. and truly why I chose this career path. I was in the television industry for 20 years, 20 long years, and I decided to make a change into animal welfare, and it's the best change that I've ever made. And reasons are because of being like here and meeting the folks that share my passions and meeting people like Jeff and Janet and now Nori, Cindy, everybody that I meet. I'm very blessed in my work that I meet so many amazing people in our community. That's my Jaeger. He turned 13 on Friday. I've had him since he was 8 weeks old, and so he's my oldest. Next slide. That's Sky. And the little story about Sky is that I came to work at the shelter in March of 2007. I made it all the way until May 2007 until I took my next dog home. She was a little 14-month-old husky that came in with stray, and nobody reclaimed her, so I claimed her. And then next slide, please. This is the last of my pack. See, you guys thought it was going to fill up with animals on this page, but I know my limits. This is Flurry, and she's the baby. Sky's 8. Sky's 9, and Flurry's 8. And Flurry is my special girl. Although I swear I don't have favorites. My boyfriend Daryl says you have favorites, Melissa, and it's Flurry. She was from a hoarding and puppy mill incident that happened in 2008 in Lincoln County. It was referred to as Operation Noah's Ark. I don't know if you guys remember it being in the news, but it was 400 to 500 animals, and I helped that day. I saw her that day. I fostered her while they were going through the court proceedings. They won. The county won, thank goodness. And they said, oh, you guys can now spay neuter the animals and adopt them out into new homes. Well, by that time, she was already in a new home. So she was number 3. So those are my kids. I felt it was really important because I stand up and I talk a lot about animals and what our community needs to do and this, that, the other. And I think it's important that people know how much that me and my coworkers at the shelter, how much animals mean to us, because I can tell you, we wouldn't be in these jobs unless we truly cared about the animals. And everybody that I work with could share a similar slideshow, but they might have a few more than I do, just say. Next slide, please. That's why I do it, because that's how animals make me feel. That look on my face, every day I go home from work, and that's the way my animals make me feel. And I'm sure I could look around the room, and a lot of people, I think up here on the front row, you said you had 2 dogs from Animal Care and Control. Thank you. I think that that's the way they make us all feel, and everybody's kind of touched on that as they've spoken today. So that's the delight that I take in the work that I am blessed to be able to do in this community. Next slide, please. So now, the big reason that we're here is Animal Needs Day, and wow, 10 years. Look at that up at the top, 10 years. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the event. You guys have all seen it. Over the years, we've been very blessed to add on the Petco Foundation, as you guys see up there. Large organization. They are our main partner. The event is presented by them. And all of those sponsors that are down below, that just goes to show that over the 10 years that Jeff and Janet's initial dream, that they've had has grown just tremendously. Next slide, please. Did I say that we've been doing it for 10 years? Wow, 10 years. Next slide. And what I wanted to show you was, there's Cindy in there, I had to put her in there. It's the success over those past 10 years. In 2007, we started, and that's a typo there. In 2007, we didn't make $16,000. We made closer to like $2,000 that year. We started at the bakery over at Kings Drive location. Next slide. And you can see over the years how we've grown. We've tried a few different things. We've tried adding the Celebrity Bake Off, which was really fun. We did that for a couple of years. Partnered with the media on that, and a lot of local folks who would make desserts and we'd auction them off. So that, gave us a little extra funds. All the way up to last year. Look at those numbers. Okay, so ignore the 16,000, but the 2,000 that we made about the first year. And we've grown the event thanks to efforts like you guys are doing right here. But all across the Charlotte community. The media embraces us. I'm excited. The week prior to this year's Animal Needs Day, we have media opportunities to go live on television shows every single day. And we're going to be doing Wilson's World. So the event is amazing. If you guys, I know you guys order your bread. If you have a chance just to get out there that day and see the festivities, we're going to have dogs for adoption. Summer's not going to be there, though, because she had 3 families interested in her. And I would imagine that it's past 11. Yeah, I would imagine that she's probably already adopted this morning. An amazing dog. And Jeff, thank you for sharing that, because that was a wonderful outlook on everything. Okay, well, head to the next slide. So you've seen my bar graph. I promise that's the only bar graph that I have for you guys. What I wanted to tell you guys is something that, wow, I just have to take a deep breath before I start it, because it's been very impactful. I think I've talked about it before. In this business, it's hard to see the difference day to day, hour to hour, adoption to adoption. It's like a big giant iceberg of the homeless pets, that we're trying to find homes for. And if you look at it big, it's giant, like a big iceberg. And we're chipping away at it one day at a time. But when you look at it over 5 years and you look at it over 10 years, that's when you can really see that missing piece of iceberg that you've chipped away at. And so I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of a snapshot of not only what Spay and Neuter has done, it's played a huge role, but also a lot of other programs and things that we are working on, programs that we put together that we know have been successful in other cities that are similar to us. It's been amazing. It's hard for me to believe that I came there 10 years ago, and even looking back at the stats when I first got there and comparing them with now, the biggest thing that I think has impacted me, just emotionally, is that, normally it used to be that, oh, you guys are the folks who have to euthanize everything, and we had a really bad rap all the time. A lot of municipal shelters across the country, they get a bad rap. Everybody thinks that an animal that walks across the threshold going into the shelter is automatic death sentence, and that is just truly not the way it is. It's not the way it is here in Mecklenburg County, and we work really hard to make sure that it's not the way it is, and you can see it in the decline. If you look, you look at the numbers. We've cut in half the number of intake, the number of animals coming in, and the number of animals being euthanized. We still got a ways to go. None of us will be satisfied until those numbers only make up the ones that come in that are too sick to help, the ones that behaviorally are not suited to be out in our community because it's unsafe. There are those as well. So until we get that, but I will tell you guys, what's great is we're not euthanizing because we have too many anymore. We're only euthanizing if those reasons happen, if it's a dog that is just, too dangerous to be out in our community. So it's wonderful. So next slide, please. I have to show you guys this. I put this in here. I had to make this poster this past winter because people were coming into our shelter, and because our intake was so low, we didn't have animals on the adoption floor. It's because they just weren't coming in. We just didn't have them. So imagine being a municipal shelter that by law we have to take in all animals that are brought to us. We can't pick and choose and say, oh, we're full today. And I had to make this graphic. I was so excited that we had to tell people where the animals, they're coming. We knew they were coming because we knew kitten season was coming. But in 10 years, my career there, that was the first time that we had to actually tell people and answer. Because normally what we would get, you guys, in the past, geez, when are you guys going to do something to change so that you're not bringing in so many animals and you're not putting down so many animals? It was the negativity that, you are always hearing. And now people are like, hello, where are the animals? Why don't a shelter have animals? Well, to me, that we don't want to have animals. That's that to be out of a job one day is where we want to be. So I wanted to share that poster with you. Next slide. And I wanted to tell you a little story. This is Verna. Verna was kind of in our IT department. Next slide. And she came to work about, I think it was, let's see, I think the slides are getting a little messed up in the order. She came to work about 13, 14 years ago, I think. Yeah, her first year there was 2004. So the story about Verna is she just retired like 2 months ago. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of Jeff and Janet too, hanging up their aprons. She retired, and when she got there, our euthanasia rate was probably 70%, and our live release rate, which means all animals who come into the shelter, the percentage that leave alive, whether they leave alive because their owner came and found them, or because they were adopted or they were transferred by a rescue group, it's called live release rate. That's a little buzzword for you. So look at those numbers. They were 70% euthanasia, 30% live release rate. Verna said at her party when she retired, we had a party for her. She said, when I came in 2004, those were the rates. And now, I don't know if we have the next slide up there or not. Now, those are reversed, you guys. We are over 70% live release. It's exciting. I'm getting chills. We still have a ways to go. Basically, out there, the theory is that any shelter that is an open admission facility, a municipal shelter that can't say no, that has to take in everything, you're never going to be 100% because of that and because of these other reasons we've talked about. But to be, even 80% on up to 90%, and that's our goal. We have 2 more years left in our ASPCA partnership. That includes the Humane Society of Charlotte. We work well together. We're getting ready, a couple lucky ones of us are getting ready to head out to Austin in September to meet with all the other ASPCA partner shelters. There's only a few left to plan our next year and to strategize, what more of the iceberg can we take away. And I think there's one more slide maybe at the very end. So I wanted to tell you guys, spay and neuter is working. Just like, Jeff, we've talked about every year about turning off that tap. There's many resources. I just want to put a plug out here real quick. Anybody who needs a free spay-neuter surgery for their animal who lives in Mecklenburg County, that's what this event's about. It funds it. Go to our website at animals.cmpd.org. Click on spay neuter and it'll take you right to an application. If you don't need that service, share it with someone that you know that does. Animal Needs Day does truly rock because that's why we're able to do that. Other low-cost opportunities that our community has is the Humane Society of Charlotte, Spay Neuter Charlotte. We work with them a lot as well. Carrie Bernstein runs a great program and they're continually expanding. So just a lot of opportunities. Charlotte's getting it. Charlotte's becoming a huge animal-friendly city. Everywhere you go around, businesses are opening their doors. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful time to be a pet owner in Charlotte. It's a wonderful time to work in animal advocacy in Charlotte. So it's a really great time. And I think one more slide, and then I just wanted to say, without crying, that now that they've made their announcement here today publicly, that I just want to thank you so much for all that you've done, not only to our organization and for the people who own animals and helping them get those surgeries, to the positive things that you've made a difference, teaching people that our organization does good for the community, to being my friend, and to always being part of my family. I love you guys. Thank you.
So how you can help is, okay, is that better? You can order bread. And Animal Needs Day is all about selling this bread. And you buy 1 loaf of bread for $10, and 100% of that $10 goes into the Free Spay Neuter Fund. It's the best bread I've ever had. I'm not a bread person at all. I just pulled out my last loaf a few weeks ago. It freezes very, very well. They have all different varieties. My favorite is the Mediterranean olive. I don't like olives at all, but the other good stuff in it makes up for that. So I have been talking to my neighbor ever since we've been doing this about buying bread, and she's like, no, I don't really want. So I took the bread out without telling her and invited her over for dinner and served that bread with the dinner, and she said, this bread is awesome. I said, wow, I'll get you an order for them. So, and if I know her, if she orders one, she'll order 7. So it's worth it. And to know that these animals are living happy, healthy lives because they're spayed and neutered is worth it. And all of the time spent into this effort is worth it because it's making a difference. And in your bulletin is a brochure about the benefits of spay-neuter and vaccination and some other information. You know my car in the parking lot because I'm the one with all the spay, neuter, and adopt magnets all over it. And I have 14 cats at home. And I'm not taking any more in. I'm not fostering anymore. And but I'm doing my part too. So, and I'm ordering bread and Radar, who's the boss of everybody. But if you want to advance the slides. If everybody's wondering what the blankets are about up here, we have a club at my school called the Beta Club, and the purpose of the Beta Club is community service. There are about 125 kids, middle schoolers, in the club, and they have volunteered for different things. A group of them volunteered to make blankets and toys for the animals at animal control and other rescues. So they came in at least once a week at 7 a.m. Our day ends at 4. So they came in early, at least once a week, and sat and made these blankets. The group at the top is actually the Beta Club kids who worked so hard. And they actually used their club funds to purchase 90 yards of polar fleece. This represents about 1/3 of that. That's a lot of polar fleece, by the way. The bottom 2 pictures, my 7th and 8th graders wanted to get involved too, so they actually helped make the blankets as well for a community service project. So even my 7th graders who hated me actually ended up liking me because of this. So there are all kinds of blankets up here and tug toys, cat toys, dog toys, all kinds of fun stuff for animal control.
Okay, so I purposely didn't talk about the bread because I knew I'd take up like an hour just talking about the bread. But like Cindy was saying, there is the AKD Cinnablast, which is made just the day of the event, and it's ooey gooey goodness of cinnamon and all kinds of things rolled into this just amazing loaf of bread, and it's heavy. Like when you pick it up, it's really heavy. If you guys don't know, like bread's heavy, actually, because what we do, if there's any leftover that we don't sell, we sell it after. We partner with Dogtopia, Zoom Room, a couple of businesses around town, and they sell it a couple days after the event as well. And when we pick it up in these tubs, it's heavy bread. So you know what that means? It's good bread because it's so heavy. But what's so exciting is there is going to be a special babka, making sure I'm saying it right, that's going to be available just the day of the event. Another good reason to come out and see us. For every single year of Animal Needs Day, there's going to be a different type of chocolate. So yes, let me repeat that. I know, right? 10 different types of chocolate in this one amazing, I guess sort of dessert type bread. So you don't want to miss that. So come out to the event too so you can try the 10 chocolate bread. Who ever heard of that before? So.
He's saying thank you, too. Thank you so much, Melissa, Janet, and Jeff. And we wish you the best, too. And we'll see you back next year with your new bread company. So if you order your bread today or this week, you can order till next Sunday, correct?
Right.
And then it will be delivered here on the 28th. All you have to do is pick it up. And all of this money goes to that program. So let's buy as much as we can, and we can give it away if we don't want to eat it. But I can't imagine anybody doing that, but it could happen, I guess. So there'll be a table out in the hall. We'll leave that up all week if you're here and you want to buy some more when you go home and think about it. It will be here, and you can put your order in until next Sunday. So let us just, as we prepare for our offering this morning, take a moment and just say a prayer for our animals. Just go to our heart for a minute and feel the love that was shared here today. And feel that love in our heart that brought us here today, to hear all these wonderful things that people are doing for our animals and for our earth and for the people of our earth. And feel that gratitude in our heart that we could be part of this. That we have this opportunity to support this free program so people can bring stray pets. Ones that can't be adopted can live out in the wilderness and have a good life. So we say thank you to God for our animals. For those that were here today, Radar and Gina and Daisy, and added to our time together, we ask for a special blessing for them. So we thank you, God, for our animals and for the call you have given us to love for our animals and all the wondrous ways you have given us to show that love. And so it is. Amen.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
God bless. Have a wonderful week.